So I thought I would do a little bit of an update just about where I am really. I'm starting to turn some of the sort of main things that I've learned into little top tips to share in a kind of written snapshot way for people who might be in a similar position to me. So that's been quite interesting, but quite hard to remember what the things is that I've learned. So it's a good reason to be doing it, I guess. So yeah, now I feel like I'm duplicating because I'm now sort of talking more about things, but this isn't just about, this is more about business, like day-to-day stuff, isn't it? And in relation to funding and money and things like that. So I wanted it to be sort of interesting enough to do another video at this point. So it's sort of probably been a couple of weeks since the last one. So where have I got to? So we had to push back the first meeting with the directors, although it wouldn't have happened yet anyway, but the date was booked for it, and I was like, oh, I need to get some accounts ready, sort of like not accounts, but like I need to sort of do all of the prep work for that because I've not run one of those meetings before, and it'd be like an introduction meeting for the team to come together, so that's quite exciting. So in the meantime, I've not kind of been pulling on that group of people at all, because they haven't even been introduced in the WhatsApp group, because I don't feel like a WhatsApp group is the right place to kind of, you know, show who people are and what they've done and why they're part of the team and stuff. I think that's nice to do in person, or at least on a video call, but it's just been hard to get that date together. So our first meeting will be in December. As it is, I've got people in the inbox that have replied with their availability, and I haven't yet done anything with it. So it's been a really like itty bitty week with sort of being here, there and everywhere, including going to the theatre with my nan, which was absolutely amazing. But it took me away from the desk for like half a day, and meetings in different places have done the same. So I really am very, like for me, very behind, because I work part-time anyway. I feel like I'm very behind on things. Just such slow progress. It's like moving through treacle is how it feels. So I haven't had a first meeting with the directors yet. So we'll update on that when we do, but I just need to pull together, like I've now got an accountant on board, which I think I said last time. So if I was able to get her across the kind of business budget and business outgoings and incomings, and separate them from my sole trader earnings, actually that's a good point. Then I would be able to ask her to kind of download a statement of things where they are, or do reconciliation, I think she called it, which I have heard before, working for different organisations. So now I kind of understand what that means. That would be an example of when I could like pull that from her and then just show it in the meeting, which would be really helpful. So ideally I would get that information over to her ASAP and then I could use it, but I just don't know if I'm going to have time to do that. One of the major blocks at the moment is opening this business bank account. Obviously you can get business bank accounts. There are many different business bank accounts available, and I've had one with NatWest, I've had one with Monzo. Monzo's worked really well. I really like Monzo. I've got the light version, which means I don't have to pay anything, no fees at all. And it's really good at like managing your money into different pots and things. I don't know if other bank accounts have that. But then I mentioned that having to have extra team members as signatories on the account meant that I needed to upgrade to the team or pro versions, which would cost £9 a month. So then I was like, no, absolutely not. I'm going to find a free one, and I'm going to find one that gives me a reward to open it, because you get money for switching and opening accounts with certain banks. So I was like, I can do this and get some money and build my reserves, because obviously I'm now paying for an accountant. So I've had to redirect money that was unspent from one project to be able to do that. But that was probably going to pay me. It probably would have just paid me for extra time that I put in. So I've sort of sacrificed those earnings there. But it is technically reserves, like it is technically funding. So I'm trying not to feel like I'm putting my own money into it, because that's not what you're supposed to do as a CIC. I just hadn't allocated it yet. I've been doing lots of searching for a bank account so that I can then like make sure I link up with the Xero software, which I'm now paying for £3 a month through the accountant that I'm working with. So I want to kind of get it all rolling, because I'm now paying for this lady's services, but I cannot find a business bank account that I'm happy with. So I originally wanted to open the Monzo team one. I wasn't happy that it was going to charge me. So then I was shopping around. Co-op have got one. Revolut has got one that's recommended. Tide was one that I was really keen to do. And I started opening up all these accounts. Some had rewards, some didn't. And then as I got into it, I found that like Tide would have given somebody I know a referral fee, because they've got an account with Tide. But then I got through it and they don't fund not-for-profits. So that was like, oh, okay, right, that kills that one off then. I've already started applying. Okay, right, we'll just stop here. And then I tried to do Revolut. And then I got like so far through the process, and the reward that I thought was promised, then I didn't even know, there was no mention of it anymore. And I was already like halfway through the application. So I thought, I don't think this is right. And then it got to it and it said set it up for £10, and I thought one off £10, not bad. And then it said later on £10 a month, and I was like, well, that's more than the Monzo one. So then I hopped over to Monzo to have a look at their team accounts. Got so far through the application, opening a new one as part of the kind of existing app that I use, and then it said, sorry, don't do not-for-profits. So that's 3 different accounts that don't do not-for-profits. And then who else have I tried? I think the other ones, I mean, I don't want to spend like £10 a month just to have a signature on a bank account. And then I want to open just a normal bank account, but because it's non-profit, registered with Companies House, it's finding it in the drop-down list, which I still get a little bit excited about because it's cool that the business is registered. But then it's saying, no, it's a private limited company, limited by guarantee, so we're not eligible, or you're not eligible to have a bank account with us. So I'm like, well, who am I supposed to bank with then? And all of this takes so much time to sit and be doing this. And it's like in the evenings. So I'm doing a counselling course as well. Very, very like light level, low, like, you know, entry level, because you've got to start from a certain point to be able to build up from there. It's free. So it's really great opportunity. I was like, let's just do it. I've always been kind of interested in that area and wanted to kind of get a qualification at some point. In that, but I thought it'd be more arts based, but then I thought it's free, add strings to bows, why not, just enjoy it. But there's now no time because I'm spending the evening like trying to open up different bank accounts for different people, which is mad. So I wanted to just update on that and kind of the stumbling blocks at the moment around that. And then the other thing that I was going to say, so I've now put in a funding application. So I was working with the Barrington Centre to pull together a funding application to send off to the Dorset Council Culture and Community Fund for the 5K. We've basically written the whole thing, and then we're finding it hard to meet with each other to kind of go through it, edit bits, make sure we were all happy with the agreement. There were various holidays, and with me being part-time and having the children, some like the days that I'm not working, and also me needing to drive to the venue rather than just have an online call and meet them halfway, has meant we weren't able to get together. So it was kind of like a bit like a tennis ball back and forward, getting a little bit uncomfortable, and I thought maybe we just don't do it at this point because maybe the partnership isn't strong enough. And then they said, no, we'll just do it. Got so far into it and then said, well, as a town council, the income is too high, so actually not eligible to apply anyway. So they said, you apply, you put it all in and just see where you get to. But then I'm also not, Wakey Wakey Arts is also not eligible to apply because of their being younger than 12 months as a constituted organisation. But because I'd spoken to this person at the council and they'd said, yep, apply as a partnership, blah, 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 I thought I'm just going to put it in. So I put in the application, and then the second part of it was send all this paperwork relating to the organisation. And again, I knew this was an issue, but I couldn't submit 12 months worth of accounts because I haven't got any approved accounts, because that's not the way that the organisation works. So it might be that they turn around and say you can have 1,500 because we're appreciating that you're less than 12 months, it's a great project, blah, blah, blah. It might be that they say, we get it, you would have applied as the Barrington Centre, but Barrington Centre is technically under the council, which earns too much, so let's fund it. Or they might just say, this is well messy, we don't want to fund it at all. But in the meantime, the Barrington Centre have found as they call it, the LAG, which is the Something Alliance Group, Local Alliance Group or Something Alliance Group, which I think are part of the council, but they've just chucked exactly the same application in with them. So hopefully that will come back as something. I think we're kind of all on the same page. I just think it got a bit hectic with the rush to kind of get it off by deadline. And obviously members of staff at Barrington Centre have come back from holiday and then have had probably my little application put a bit of pressure on them. So it'll be good to see where it gets to. And then there was something else that was quite exciting. Oh, I've just had a lovely phone call with a colleague, or with a kind of connection that I ran the Let's Get Messy project with at IFED Academy. So the first version of the Let's Get Messy project, I worked with a brilliant careers lead called Irene, and she's now going freelance. She's working at Bournemouth and Paul College as a careers lead, careers advisor, but she's now going freelance to work specifically with SEND young people. I always call them SEND, which is special educational needs and disabilities, but maybe it is SEND. So I shall try and correct myself. So yeah, she's doing some really cool stuff and wants to like introduce me to different groups, and I think there's scope for us to work together. I'm going to incorporate her skills into future project funding applications, because we never can seem to advance or broaden young people's knowledge about arts careers and education, which is one of the questions is, do you know what an arts career is, and do you know how to continue art in your education if you wish to? These are things I evaluate before and after, which might be a problem with the wording of it, which I've talked to my friend about because she has now done research and things like that. So it might just be a wording issue. But I was like, but we've got these like people coming in, like we did one of our projects at Arts University Bournemouth, and we had a member of the widening participation team come in and do a presentation on universities and different arts careers and things like that. And still after that, the majority of young people said they didn't know what an arts career was, and they didn't know how to continue it in their education. So that's always been a little bit like, okay, we're not really hitting that aim, but I know that it's happening in the room. We're having the conversations with young people, but they're just not answering it in the evaluation form for whatever reason. So I sort of in the back of my head was thinking that, but I haven't done anything about it because I haven't had a specific project to lead since the last time we asked those questions. But then I was speaking to Irene and I was like, maybe I can get some funding for an actual dedicated careers advisor to be in on these projects. And that would also give it real greater strength as well. I think that'd be really valuable. So that's quite interesting. Yeah, and then tomorrow we've got, did I say we have the £1,000 come from Culture in Common to support young parents doing Wiggles and Giggles? I might have put that, said that or not, but we've got that, so that's kind of developing to run from February. And then I've got a Wiggles and Giggles trial with Paul Museum tomorrow morning. I'm a little bit nervous about, like usually I've got like an order of things that I do, because I have to park, unload the bits that I can't carry in my trolley somewhere, and then drive off, park my car and wheel the rest of the bits in on the trolley. And in Totton that's fine because I leave it by the back door in a car park and it's perfectly, nothing's been stolen so far basically. But where we're delivering tomorrow, it's in Scatlands Court on Paul High Street. So to one park in the high street, I probably will end up parking in a bus lane or something, or parking where I'm not supposed to, or driving on like a pedestrian bit and getting told off. Or I will leave stuff out the front, like like I can't just leave stuff in the middle of the high street and then drive off and go park my car somewhere. But like on the other hand, I can't drive my car, I can't lock my car with the hazards on and go and take it into the venue, because then my car is probably parked illegally. So so yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine, but you know, when you first go somewhere, and I'm flying in from like having the children, having some childcare, because Friday's not a working day for me. So but yeah, it should be quite good. I delivered the session today with my Totton bunch, who I'm delivering the same session that I'm delivering tomorrow. There were some bits that I probably would change, but I'm also like, I have changed bits, like the fact that the glitter wasn't edible wasn't fantastic, because some of the children were eating the glitter and the parents were getting a bit like, oh, about that. So I have changed that, but otherwise, and we haven't got the coffee machine because of pack testing, and also because there's a cafe on site, so we can't really do coffee machine and stuff. So I've got some juices, but But other than that, it's business as usual, and I'm just going to see how it goes and try and connect with these people. Part of me thinks that if they basically had 10 places, 10 children, 10 children's places allocated, and it got booked within a few days, which is amazing. So they increased it a little bit more in case there were dropouts, and we also don't know how much we can comfortably hold in that room with buggies and things like that. But I'm thinking that because they all used like links to book on, I know that Poole Museum's got a massive like reach or a wide reach, so it's probably that loads of people are following Poole Museum on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. But I'm also thinking that the kind of people that might be on their phones looking for a class, signing up a week ago, like a week in advance, might be the kind that we aren't looking to reach, because we're looking to reach more of the kind of harder to reach, perhaps more anxious or socially isolated people who might not have like the confidence to book into something a week away and thinking, yeah, I'm going to go. So it'll be really interesting. I need to actually email the lady there back to see whose paperwork they're going to be filling out, if any. Don't know. There's so much to do, and it's also all over the place, and there's different people, different jobs for different people, different projects and things. So I'm still also thinking about whether I can work with an admin person or not. How would that happen? Don't know. How would that happen in reality? I don't know. Let's see where these sessions get to and see if we get any more sessions to deliver, and then it might pay for someone like that. But anyway, that was a bit of a mad update all over the place. I hope it was interesting and useful, and there was something that I was like, oh, that's a good point. Oh yeah, I might make that my final top tip for my my kind of snapshot tips about moving to a CIC from a sole trader. Yes, anyway, right, speak to you soon, and I will let you know how all of this has gone and where we've moved, and hope move forward with what we've moved forward with, and hopefully I'll have a bank account open by the next time that I record a video. That'll be the goal. All right, take care. Bye.